What's up everyone, this is Tony with JRNY Crypto. Welcome back to another video. So things are starting to look pretty bullish in the crypto market. I do think we're pretty close to the next leg up. And I do think these prices aren't going to last much longer. I do think it's more likely we have a leg up at this point than another crash. But anything can really happen, as we know, depending on current events. So short term is always going to be very unpredictable, especially in a market like this. If it wasn't, then everyone would be buying. You wouldn't be able to get prices like this. So there is some bullish things happening here. There's still a lot of fear in the market as well, but I do think that is starting to clear up. I do think there's pressure on Donald Trump to start doing things that are positive for the market overall, which I do think we have started seeing. The 90-day delay on the tariffs. He did state that he's going to be making a deal with China. And I do think he's feeling pressure on that now as well. So if something good comes out of this, that's going to be great for the market. But some other bullish stuff: Binance reveals government's planning national crypto reserves. So this was very bullish, hearing Donald Trump state that they're planning a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Of course, other countries are going to follow. If we actually get a US Bitcoin strategic reserve, if that's announced, no matter how much they plan on buying or how they plan on doing it, if it's announced that they are doing it, a lot of different countries are going to follow. And not only that, it's going to increase demand from all other categories, any rich people out there, companies, institutions, other countries, retail investors. Everyone is going to start buying because that's going to create FOMO. So a quick update before we jump into the video: we're doing a lot for JRNY Club right now. If you're a member, I highly recommend checking out recent updates in the Discord. If you're not a member and you want to learn more, we actually just opened a public chat in our Discord. I'm in there pretty much regularly throughout the day answering questions along with our mods. If you want to learn more, you could come in there and chat with us and we can answer questions. But we are doing some pretty big stuff. One of the main things right now, we're moving some of our NFTs from the main JRNY Club collection over to Cardano. This is going to be very limited though. There's a form open right now, up to 500 spots. There will be a mint for 500 spots as well in May. But if you do want to secure this and lock it in now, there's more information in this blog post. We have some other stuff we will be announcing in the next couple weeks here, so definitely check this out. Definitely a good time. If you've always wanted to be a member of JRNY Club, to check this out. If you are currently a member and you haven't been staying up to date, definitely go in the Discord and get those updates. So this is definitely great news this morning. Binance stating other governments are exploring this and will likely follow once the US does this. Some of them may try to front run the US as well, depending how long it takes. I am hoping the US does introduce the Bitcoin strategic reserve before end of year. That's going to be extremely bullish. If that lines up with where we're supposed to be historically with the peak of the this current bull market, that's going to be great. And this will create a complete supply shock on Bitcoin. Not only that, it's going to have a domino effect on the rest of the crypto market and Web3 in general. We always see that happen. Bitcoin usually first, then coins like Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano. And then once those start really going up, you start seeing the small cap altcoins skyrocketing as well. And that's what you really want to prepare for. That's where all the 10 to 100x gains are, is when altcoin season really picks up like that. So right now, I think is the time to prepare for that. Start finding those picks, dollar cost averaging and everything, preparing for what is to come. So some more bullish news this morning: BlackRock just bought over $30 million worth of Bitcoin. They continue accumulating. Not only that, but MicroStrategy is the big one. They accumulated another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin last week, and they continue doing that. I'm sure they're looking for more money to buy even more. They know what's coming. They're really buying for a very long-term outlook, looking at Bitcoin hitting $1 million and more. So they're going to continue accumulating. Even if Bitcoin gets up to 150 to 200,000, you're probably still going to see MicroStrategy and these other companies accumulating very large amounts regularly. So we also had Jerome Powell state crypto is becoming mainstream and thinks there will be loosening bank rules on crypto soon. So this is something else that's extremely bullish for mass adoption, banks adopting cryptocurrencies, because if they offer custody services and other services for cryptocurrency, if you could store Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos in your bank account and buy directly from your bank account very easily, a lot more people are going to do this. And a big issue with crypto is a lot of people don't trust it. Even platforms like Coinbase and the other big ones, people don't trust those as much. You always hear bad stuff about people's accounts getting locked, different stuff like that. And then self-custody, people losing it, all kinds of different problems there. So that being a big factor, if people could just buy in their bank custodies it for them, and they feel safe with that, a lot more people will buy. So if we have banks getting on board and we have the US introduce a Bitcoin strategic reserve, that's going to open the floodgates to crypto adoption. There's going to be a lot of FOMO, and these things can happen before end of year. I'd say it is pretty likely. So I strongly believe there's a lot more bullish stuff happening on the back end with the elites that we're just not aware of yet. But if you try to put the pieces together, you can get an idea of what is to come. This lining up with the historic Bitcoin data after the Bitcoin halving, things are really lining up here for a very big bull market end of year or sometime in early 2026. So really, I think it's a great time to lock in and find good picks. Start dollar cost averaging and prepare for this, because the elites, they are preparing for this. I actually did a post about this on X. So the biggest crypto shift in history is happening right now. So in this post, I talked about Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, MicroStrategy, BlackRock, Larry Fink being so bullish on Bitcoin. So previously, Larry Fink, he was pretty bearish on crypto and Bitcoin. Right now, Warren Buffett still holds that same stance, but I do think he's going to be turning around to that very soon. Maybe not for Bitcoin, but probably Ethereum. So Larry Fink and BlackRock have been acquiring a very large amount of Ethereum. And something Warren Buffett has said is there's just nothing tangible for cryptocurrency. There's no reason. There's nothing backing it. No use case or utility, basically. But what we have coming for Ethereum, what Larry Fink recently said is that basically they're going to put the entire stock market on Ethereum. Not only that, but real world assets as well. If you guys haven't heard about that, putting real world assets on the blockchain, basically putting everything on the blockchain is possible. And there are benefits to that. So I do think that is going to start happening, and that would give Ethereum tangible utility that Warren Buffett would see useful. Not only that, but BlackRock actually is one of the biggest holders in Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway. So if they have such a big influence and really need crypto to succeed, it's very likely they are pushing Berkshire Hathaway to invest some of their cash holdings into Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe some other cryptos. I do think they are going to acquire a large amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum, though, at some point. So Berkshire Hathaway is sitting on over $300 billion of cash. That's the most in history. And they did sell a lot of their Apple stock, which they were on point with. Warren Buffett is known for making amazing moves with the stock market and investing. So if he bought a large amount of Ethereum, that would basically give the buy signal to everyone else in the older generation. It would really open the floodgates to pretty much everyone becoming extremely bullish and a mass wave of FOMO. He could put $10 billion into Ethereum, not even notice a difference in their cash holdings. It would probably 3x it within 6 months just by doing that. He could pull out his initial investment and then have all of that Ethereum and whatever other crypto for free, basically. So I do think there's a lot of influence that is pushing this. Not only that, but just putting everything on the blockchain as well, the entire stock market and everything. That's very bullish, but I do think there is something cooking in the back end that is going to be massive, not only with the Bitcoin strategic reserve and other countries doing this, not just with banks adopting crypto, but all of these elites really working on doing a lot with the blockchain, and a lot of major players and investors getting into crypto. So I am very bullish on the mid to long term. Beginning of 2026, I think things are going to look much different. It really depends how things go with the tariffs and all this stuff, but fear of that is starting to clear. Trump is starting to feel pressure to do things that are positive for the market overall. All these elites and all these different things that are happening in the back end, Bitcoin, US strategic reserve. Some of this stuff is going to play out by end of year. I think we're going to see more countries or companies and countries starting to buy Bitcoin as well. We had GameStop announce they're going to be acquiring a large amount of Bitcoin. If they start buying regularly, that's going to be huge. Just a few more companies doing what MicroStrategy is doing would be enough to push us into a huge bull market regardless of what's happening. So lots of big things happening here. When this starts actually picking up, we don't know exactly. Short term, there's still fear, but that is starting to clear up, and we can't time the exact bottom, so trying to do that is not a good idea. If you know this stuff is coming, you should prepare for it right now. Figure out what your entry and exit strategy is going to be, what your goals are for the crypto space, and what you're going to be doing, your dollar cost average strategy. That is one thing I notice with most average investors. They go in with a large amount of money all at once, and then they get fear and they pull out. They don't go in with a entry strategy. They don't dollar cost average generally. So the more people we have actually approaching crypto with an educated mindset with this, a long-term outlook, the better, in my opinion. This is a space that is not going away. So looking at this like a long-term investment, generally everyone that has done that for at least 5 years or more is in the positive, as long as they didn't invest in small cap scam coins. If they bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, some of the other top 100 coins, and they even dabbled in the high risk ones, they're probably still up huge in general. So even with Donald Trump this morning stating he thinks we're going to make a very good deal with China, there's still fear around this. The day before this, China reaffirms it will fight to the end if President Trump fails to deliver a fair trade deal. So what Trump is doing is just playing hardball right now. This is just part of how he does business, and he's applying this to the presidency and trying to establish good things for the US. But if it just doesn't work out, it starts being more negative than positive, and he doesn't see that changing. He is going to give into it, and that fear is going to start clearing up. I think we are starting to see that with some of this stuff in general. And I think that was his goal to begin with, is just try to push this as hard as he can and get whatever positive he can out of it. So we also had Jerome Powell state higher than expected tariffs likely mean higher inflation. So now we're starting to see Jerome Powell and Trump get into it. Some stuff with that as well. We also saw billions lost in the stock market minutes after Jerome Powell began his speech. Nvidia down 8.7%. That is huge. Apple down 3.6%. Tesla 5%. So on. Pretty much the entire stock market red here. And then President Trump says Jerome Powell's termination can't come fast enough as he refuses to lower rates. So now Trump is starting to push for this too. Trump starting to feel this pressure on the market, so he's trying to get some good stuff going that's going to benefit the markets in general. He himself is going to start doing stuff that benefits the markets, and this is a good sign of that. So Trump is not happy with Powell. He made this statement on his platform Truth Social. The ECB is expected to cut interest rates for the 7th time, and yet too late. Jerome Powell of the Fed, who is always too late and wrong, yesterday issued a report which was another and typical complete mess. Oil prices are down, groceries, even eggs are down, and the USA is getting rich on tariffs. Too late should have lowered interest rates like the ECB long ago, but he should certainly lower them now. Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. So he also made this statement here. Jerome Powell will leave if I ask him to. I'm not happy with him. Another update. Trump has reportedly held private discussions about firing Jerome Powell. So he is pushing on this. He wants this to happen to help the markets in general because he's feeling the pressure and he really wants to push this in a positive direction overall. He doesn't want to have to feel all the pressure himself. He wants to continue pushing these tariffs and not have to back out of that completely. So we'll see what happens with this, but generally overall, I do think things are starting to move in a positive direction for the market. So a couple other quick updates before I end the video. I'm going to do a separate video on altcoins and other bullish stuff happening, but just a quick update here. Coinbase's Base platform, they launched a coin called Bases for Everyone. Basically, it pump and dumped really hard. After the announcement on X, it went from nothing up to 15 million market cap. I really think this was just a few people on crypto Twitter buying this up though, and then flash crashing it. That's just how these meme coin traders react to this type of stuff. So it flash crashed after that, going from 15 million market cap down to 750,000. Then everyone started posting this on X. Basically, that's all I saw yesterday. And of course, that gave it a lot of attention. This is a legit platform too, backed by Coinbase. So a lot of people didn't actually hear about this until they started seeing these posts and this chart everywhere. Didn't even know about it, so that gave it a lot of attention. This is the original post from Base. They just said Bases for Everyone, and then they had a link here where it says coined it. Basically, they're pushing this platform where you could basically coin something, basically create a coin for something, but they're pushing this as something different than a meme coin, and you can see the post here. They try to give some clarification on it. Jesse.base, he said here, Contentcoin and versus a meme coin. Contentcoin is one piece of content, singular value, no expectations. You can create many, big ones turn into memes. And then meme coins, aggregation of content, aggregated value, high expectations. You should create one. Big ones turn into projects. So they're basically trying to get people to start pushing everything onto the blockchain and tokenize everything, which is kind of what we talked about earlier, everything being tokenized on Ethereum, but they didn't really give good clarification on this. This initial post should have had a link to an article explaining this further, not just linking to where you could buy it. So besides that, we are starting to see certain meme coins recover, although most of them are still pretty much dead. So FARTCOIN being one of the biggest gainers this year, FARTCOIN on Sol is up 150% over the last 2 weeks. So that's pretty huge. We have an article here on Block News if you want to check that out. But also here, you can see this short video here showing all the different meme coins that launched, how much they skyrocketed and where they're at now. Basically, all of these had multiple huge waves going up to even multi-billion market caps, and now they're back down to where they started essentially. None of these really doing that great at this point. Some of these will recover, I think, the ones that are building and have that good long-term future and potential, but which of these actually have teams behind them and good branding and good communities? Very few. There's actually a few I am going to pick up in the trading series, which I'm pretty confident on. A couple of them that were in here. So we will talk about that more, but no matter what, it's always high risk. But if you know what to look for, you can pick ones that are more likely to do well long term than the ones that are just going to be pump and dumps, like the majority of them. Even the ones that everyone thinks is going to be really good long term, like Popcat, Dog with Hat, Chill Guy, and Peanut. Those are some good examples. Peanut here, crazy pump and dump. Of course, this one, Peanut, was just something that was viral at the time, and then now it's not viral anymore, and the guy is against them using the IP for it, so he's not on the actual team for this. If it was the actual guy that launched this coin and he was continuing to build, this would be looking much better in my opinion. So you do have to look at different factors like that, but we are going to go over that more. And then last year, Alex Becker, his recent video, he said his Cardano ADA bag could buy a country. It's going up, so he's continuing to accumulate. I called this out on Twitter. He's trolled ADA holders through the whole bear market, but it's because it gets a lot of engagement and it's funny. But of course, he sees the tech there and that it's a good investment, so he is accumulating. This is pretty much my top pick out of the top 10 as well, besides Ethereum. I think he has the same stance on that as well. So there is a lot of huge stuff happening for Cardano. That's why we're building on Cardano as well. We're migrating some of our NFTs to Cardano. We're building products that are crypto related on Cardano. So I see a very strong future there, but it is going to take time for that to develop and build up, but it is looking pretty good. And there are altcoins on Cardano now, not only NFTs, and I've done really well with some of those altcoins. It's actually easier to navigate than meme coins on Solana as well. So we are going to talk about that in the trading series coming up. So I am starting the trading series. I actually loaded the wallets, and I basically just started with the coin for each chain. So this is going to be 3 trading series simultaneously using decentralized exchanges. This is actually the biggest trading series I've ever done, and the highest potential one since we're using decentralized exchanges. Previously, I only did the trades at the time of the video. I'm not doing that this time. I'm going to trade as I see fit. Since there's so much happening now, you can't just do it all once per week. You have to trade as stuff is happening. So if you want to follow along with that, if you want more information, I am going to be doing a separate video, but basically we're doing Cardano, Ethereum, and Solana, basically 10,000 on each chain. And then I'll only be trading on that chain through the series. So Solana is just going to be meme coins and other coins that are on the Solana blockchain. With Ethereum, it's just going to stay on Ethereum. I might dabble in some EVMs like Abstract. There's been a couple meme coins, but pretty much just altcoins on Ethereum. Same thing for Cardano. So I do think that's going to be pretty interesting and fun, especially going into all this bullish stuff that's supposed to be happening towards the end of year. I will be doing a separate video very soon going over my plans for this, my first couple of picks, and how you can follow along. If you are interested, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell. I do recommend following me on X here as well for updates. We are doing some other stuff, especially with JRNY Club. Lots of huge stuff coming for this. If you do want to be part of JRNY Club and become a member, now is the time to do this. We have multiple things coming out over the next couple months here, some big announcements here in the next couple weeks. Right now, we're working on Cardano stuff. Like I said, we're transitioning some of our NFTs from the JRNYers collection to Cardano. So that's going to be up to 1,000 NFTs on Cardano. You can lock in your spot right now if you are interested in that. More info on the JRNY Club X account. You can join the JRNY Club Discord too if you just want to chat or whatever. We actually opened a public chat again, and you can go in there and ask questions if you want. I'm in there pretty much every day throughout the day, chatting with people, answering questions. So we can help you out there as well. That's pretty much it for this video though. Things are looking pretty good. Definitely time to start locking in. If you haven't, figure out your strategy. You don't want to go on all at once and then panic and sell everything. You want to have a good strategy overall to be successful mid to long term. And that should be the goal for everyone in this space. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.